Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Symphogear Season 3, Episode 10. So, I just want to confirm with you guys that we did know that Genjiro was Tsubasa's uncle. It was just me being dumb. Occasionally I miss things, whether it be because I'm talking to you guys, so I try to read while I'm talking, but typically I won't comprehend. Or sometimes I'm trying to watch what's going on the screen, and quite honestly, I won't like read the subtitles if it's like more of an action part, because sometimes I'm like, it's not a big deal because I want to like see what's going on the screen. And I think it was kind of like an entrance for Genjiro, and I probably got really excited, and Tsubasa said uncle, and I missed that. And then also when he was introduced, which is the big one, or not the big one, but they said his last name was Kazanari. I think at the time I think it was up until last episode that I honestly kind of forgot what Tsubasa's last name was. I have a hard time remembering names, so I usually try to remember one name for the people, and sometimes it's hard for me to remember their full name. So that part went over my head. But either way, without turning it into a lengthy discussion, I messed up, but I had the shock factor last episode for it, and that's my reaction. So, my bad, guys. I apologize. I tried to do my best. Anyway, we had the fight against Farah, with her sword breaker going up against Tsubasa, who sees herself as a sword, or did see herself as a sword. Tsubasa ended up learning a lot from her father about, or basically, well, we learned a lot about their family. She already knew it, but she also learned that her father does seem to care, and like pushed her away to keep her away from the bullshit Kazanari bloodline, like keep it pure crap that the grandfather is like all about, and stuff like that. So messed up family stuff there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where we go from here. So let's get started, shall we? Alrighty, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, and Dr. Ver showed up at the very end. I just remember that. And here he is. Now we see how he gets busted out. You truly seem like a hero. Even, did you guys see, that was Carol's face in the background, right? Who was, like, surprised by this? Yeah, look at look at her in the background. She's like, who is this idiot? Time for a hero, guys, so we need a Dr. Ver, right? He'll save us from those evil Symphogear wielders that are trying to protect the world from being ended. How dare they? I hope, like, since Carol's surprised to see Ver right here, or at least it seems like she is, I really hope that we get a moment where Ver's like, I am with you, young girl! I will help you destroy the world, and then me and you together can repopulate it, because that's what he talked about that one time before, remember that? And then I hope she just like, whoop, like one attack and just like wipes him out or something. And we see him pinned to the wall, like mushed up, and he's like, huh? Oh, I want it. So we just got Layer and Carol left, right? Their faces. Yeah, they had a whole thing. Hmm. That's terrible. Terrible that we have to keep him around like that for that. I love her intense singing. Like, I don't know if I would like that song if it wasn't like seeing it in a fight like this, right? Because it might be a little too gruff. At least like the way that started to me. But hearing her like anger in her music while she's fighting is really neat. Oh shit! Oh, Chris. Come on, Chris. She's feeling the burden of. But you gotta rely on teamwork. That's what you guys have always done. Before she ran away. Cool. It doesn't even have anything down there. Why are you zooming in on it? I know it was the fist, but. Yep. When Carol got mad there, it felt like. It felt like I could hear another character's voice for a minute there. I'm sure the voice actress plays another character I know. Most voice actresses do. But the performance in that moment, I felt like another character that I know. All right. This guy. He's like that anime protagonist that has a hero complex, but just a really perverted version of it. Alright. Don't bring your logic into this! That's such a good response. Oh. Oh shit. She's not dead! They're gonna finally figure out that their songs are being used for something. What if Carol just wants to put on like a really cool concert? And so she is just collecting all of their music, and the big spooky sphere is just like a giant stadium for her to play her music in. Uh-oh. Well, the mole would probably just be Elfenine, right? She's like looking through Elfenine's eyes, even if Elfenine isn't aware. Yeah, we already know. I was gonna say, who's the mole? But I'm pretty sure we already know. Unless it's someone else. Hecky heck. Alright, Hibiki. Who's the one person? Well, at least she's smart enough to think of it. Yeah. So she's not aware of it. This is crazy. Like the astral projection or something. Oh, so they're gonna find out separately. I was worried about ugh, I hate eye stuff. You know, makes sense. Yeah. I was worried that this was going to be the case, that Elfenine was going to be like a mole even if she wasn't aware of it. Or it was possible she could have been aware of it. And then when we saw the thing where... That was before we saw Carol looking through the vision. But as soon as we saw Carol looking through Elf9's vision... But it also makes sense why they kept attacking and running away, too. Like, I figured there was something to do with that. Something to do with the songs. I mean, they said it themselves. I mean, yeah, it's probably too late. If they... It's almost like maybe you should actually... I might have missed something in that because there were a couple lines I didn't read, I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't catch them. But if they already have enough, then wouldn't it be okay to use the Ignite module to fight with? But I guess maybe it's scary to give them more than they need. If, like, their songs are fuel to a bomb, you don't want to give them more fuel. I don't know if you guys hear that noise in the background, I apologize. My mini fridge back there has been acting up. It makes a loud noise every now and then for a little bit, and it's doing it right now. So if you hear a little, like, humming, rattling sort of noise. Alright. I feel like it's been a bit of time since we've seen, her transformation? Maybe. Or I'm just... can't remember. Do all the girls have, like, a piece of an outfit that doesn't necessarily need to be there, that's different from the rest of them? Like, like, you got, like, the bow theme a bit with Chris, and then I noticed here that Kirika has, like, the... I mean, I've seen them before, but I didn't really think much of it. Kirika has, like, the high socks. Like, I know they all have, like, high, like, boots, but hers are actually, like, socks like you'd wear normally, right? Whereas everyone else's are, like, armored and stuff. So do they all have, like, a little, like, fun piece of clothing? I know Maria has, like, a little bit of fabric that's, like, flowy fabric that seems to just be cosmetic. I don't know if that would be the one for them. Well, oh, shit. Chris's face there was like... Oh my god, Bitcoins! Jesus. Oh, shit. Chris rushed ahead and your juniors got hurt. That's what happens when you don't use teamwork. I thought they were actually flat for a second there. Oh, Chris. I'll talk more about what I was trying to say before. I should have saved it for discussion, that's my bad. Losing faith. Oh, who's gonna come in? Someone's gonna come in. Oh shit, they got up! Oh, that's great. That's so much better. I thought it was gonna be like Hibiki or something somehow getting here. But that's so much better. Alright. We're just gonna keep using it then. Yeah, I mean, if they already have enough, I feel like why not? Like I said, unless I missed something in that lengthy discussion. Alright. I did not realize that her baton things, I don't know the exact term for those, were made out of coins. That's crazy. I missed that the first time. Doubles as a club. Awesome. I just, like, spit. Yeah. Chris just launching nukes at people. She's riding one of them! Dude, that's great. Jeez. Nice teamwork. That was cool. Sometimes I was thinking, like, she should probably say sorry, but, like, instead of thanks there, but sometimes it's better to say thanks instead of sorry. Like, thank you for help. Oh, it's this shit. Get to the sub! Depressurize be damned! They have future technology, I guess they'll be okay. They're not gonna explode. Alright, the day of reckoning dawns! And it's gonna end! Jesus. That was such a... Was that ramp up to the ending song a little longer than normal? That felt like one hell of a ramp up to the ending song. That was a good episode though. I quite enjoyed it. Sorry for I talked a lot during that one. I apologize. There were a lot of little things I wanted to talk about, and I should have wrote them down and talked about them in the discussion. But instead, I just kind of talked. one thing I want to get it over with because it's not that big of a deal to me because it wasn't that much of the episode, and the rest of the episode was so good that it's fine. But the only bad thing with moments like what they did here with the explanation of Alpha 9 being a mole and the characters realizing it is, usually I prefer to learn a revelation like that with our characters, so that way when the characters are feeling like, you know, I'm feeling at the same time. But they kind of dropped some, at least what I felt like, pretty blatant hints about almost everything they talked about here. Like with, you know, watching through Alpha 9's eyes, they clearly showed us that. Oh, hold on, that is it, guys, for episode 10. But yeah, like, so I wasn't shocked when they told us that she was looking through Alpha 9's eyes, because she showed us that. I wasn't shocked when they said that they were using the songs and it was all part of the plan kind of thing, because I figured it already was, because that's what, you know, even they said, like, oh, I want you to sing for me kind of thing. Like, they've been saying it this entire time, and the fact that they've been showing up and not killing them, like, to me, it was already, like, confirmed that they were planning on using their songs, their phonic gain, for something, right? So, that's the only bad thing with episodes like this, is I just watched that the characters catch up to stuff that I already knew. So I will say, like, if I missed anything, like, crazy important that's, like, brand new, that, like, because I did, like, at one point I kind of, like, tuned out the subs and was just kind of watching the characters and stuff, and I shouldn't have done that. It's a bad habit of mine, because they could have dropped some, like, extra info in there and stuff like that, but for the most part it seems like what we already knew is, you know, so, but yeah, I feel kind of bad for that. I shouldn't have done it. But anyway, they are, I guess, starting from the top of the episode, they're kind of trying to keep Dr. Ver alive for the linker, because he's the only one that can make it. You would think, I mean, obviously he values his own existence, so he's probably not going to tell people the recipe, right? Because he realizes that as long as that is a thing, it makes him valuable, right? And keeps them from killing him when they're in situations like this, so. But it's too bad that we have to keep that fucker around just because he can make linker. It's like, goddammit, figure out how to make your own linker! I know it's hard. Ver is a scientist, so, you know, you can't just go into a lab and mix this chemical. I'm sure it took him a while to make what he did. So, but, we had Chris kind of going off ahead on her own, trying to, you know, in her own way, protect her juniors and everything by taking on the brunt of the fight herself and everything. But by doing that, she's putting her juniors at risk. You know, they should all work together and trust each other, that they're all capable out there on the field, right? So, I love that Genjiro was, like, trying to explain to her and try to tell her that, like, go out there and fight, but also use your head while you're fighting, right? And everything. And at one point, Chris was just like, I think Chris knew that Genjiro was right. And it's one of those things where you don't want to admit you're wrong, so you're just like, don't use your logic on me! It's like, I throw the logic out. But that was a really funny moment. It's definitely one of those things where, I don't know, I really appreciate it, because, like I said, sometimes I hate when people stick to, like, having, like, really dumb arguments for something just because they don't want to admit they're wrong. Like, straight up, I feel like that's, like, if I'm gonna try to praise myself, I like to think that if someone confronts me with a convincing argument, now granted, sometimes there's, like, opinionated things, and someone else's opinion I just fundamentally disagree with, despite how much they try to convince me otherwise. But other times it'll be something like factual, like, I'll think something works this way, but then someone explains to me, shows me a lot of evidence to prove that it works the other way, I won't sit there and continue to deny it once I see the proof in front of me, right? As long as the proof seems real and not just like someone on Reddit making it up to troll someone kind of thing, right? But I'll concede. I'll be like, okay, yeah, you're right. My bad. You know, I thought it worked this way, and I was wrong. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but some people just never want to admit they're wrong. And I like how Chris, with her frustration of, like, not wanting to admit that Genjiro has a point, she's just like, don't use your logic on me, and just, like, rather than, like, continuing to argue her own topic, she kind of said that, which I felt like her way of saying, I get it, okay, shut up. But yeah, I like the girls helping Chris at the end. I thought that was nice, a nice way to snap her out of it. You know, like she was spiraling. She was about to be attacked. She felt like she was alone, and you know, she already realized that she messed up with getting them hurt because she was too busy, like gung ho going ahead and everything. And just a lot going through her mind with her parents' this dream and why they followed it when the world is just so messed up. Why would they bother trying to help it, and all that spiraling. But then she's in a tough spot, and these girls that, you know, she's been kind of talking down to a little bit and all that come in and protect her and tell her she's not alone. And that's a spark to show that they're, you know, they're more than just acquaintances that fight together, right? They're friends. So it was really cool. I like that moment. And I like that it wasn't, I was thinking it was like gonna be like somehow Hibiki got down here or something, even though I know they're in like an underwater temple. But I thought somehow someone else was gonna get here and like intercede, because we kind of saw Hibiki like prepping and being like, you know, getting her head in the right space for the coming battle. I'm sure she's going to be getting out of that hospital room and participating in everything. So I thought maybe that was going to be the time, because we had it earlier in the episode where she kind of was like, you know, like I said, just getting her head on straight. But yeah, it ended up being the girls, and I love that so much more than anyone else just showing up at the last second conveniently, right? So cool. But, yeah, I kind of said a lot of what I wanted to say about the outfits, but I was trying to think more about, I don't really remember where I left off in that topic, but yeah, I was just thinking, like, Chris has the bows, you know, Kirika kind of has, like, the high socks kind of thing. I was just trying to think of if any of the other girls have something, like a piece of clothing or something that is, like, maybe close to them that gets to, like, or they just like or something that they get to keep, like, when their gear is being put on kind of thing. I'll have to keep an eye out when they do, like, the full transformation shots, but yeah, maybe I'm just, like, grasping at something that isn't a pattern. And I'll find that out as soon as I see some of the other transformations, and I'm like, okay, yeah, never mind. They're just, you know... Because, like, some of them, they might just put on that undersuit, and then all the armor comes on, right? There might not be any kind of... Like, I know Maria, like I said, has that cloth that kind of poofs out, but I don't know if I really see that as the same as, like, the bows or the... I mean, I guess it kind of is, right? But yeah. I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to remember Hibiki's, and I almost don't really think of anything like that for Hibiki. It feels like hers is just, like, the undersuit that goes on, and then all the armor stuff, like, latches on over it, kind of thing. But, like I said, my memory is so bad, I'm not going to be able to remember their specific transformations until I see them again, so, I'll just wait and see that. Or maybe one of you guys will be like, hey, you're onto something, and, you know, message me with it, which I'm sure one of you will. But yeah. Very good episode. I really like the moment in the fight with, Chris. I like how she fired the missile, but then she rode the missile and was firing a machine gun while she was riding it. So basically... Like, that's kind of like what you do sometimes in a fight, is you fire suppressing fire. Even if you're not going to hit the person, it'll make it so the person can't poke out because they're scared of getting shot, right? And then your buddy can, like, move to the right and start, like, a flank on them. and get a better angle, and the person might not know that your buddy's doing that, so they won't be watching that new angle kind of thing. And I love that that's kind of like what Chris did here, where she fired a missile, and she's like, okay, like, Leia's gonna be able to deal with the missile easily, but if I'm sitting there shooting her, she's gonna have to be deflecting the bullets. She ain't gonna be able to do shit about the missile after that, you know? And I love that that was a thing. That was cool. And then obviously the combination move of, you know, sealing up the room, pulling Chris out, and, you know, saving them from that explosion and all that was really, you know, I mean, kind of miraculous, kind of like what Shirabe said. She was like, I can't believe we did that, you know, it's insane. So it goes to show that they're getting a little closer to working better as a team and not, you know, looking down on one another because of age or something like that. I don't think Chris was looking down on them. That's my bad. I don't really mean that as like I didn't really mean it that way. I meant like she doesn't look down on them, but she feels she needs to protect them, I guess, is like, so she keeps them at arm's length, right? So that's what I mean. I don't mean to like make Chris sound like a bad person and say that she's you know, she's like disregarding them kind of thing and thinking they're weak. I don't think that's the case. But yeah. Anyway, very, very good. I had a lot of fun with this one. It was, I mean, even though Ver showed up, and you guys know how I feel about Ver, not a fan of him, which I do like that he just kind of barged his way into this situation. I think that's like the one thing that makes it okay that he's here, is that's just really funny to me that he just, like, Carol, like, it's not like Carol came down here to get him. It's like, it seems like they just imprisoned him down here in Neptune's palace and just like left him there, and Carol just happened to, or maybe it like happened during their fight, like break open the wall to his cell kind of thing, and he just steps out, and I love how Carol's face was just like, who the hell is this guy? And then like learns of his abilities and stuff and just decides to roll with it. But yeah. Man, my damn fridge. I hate that so much. I had one a while back that was a little different than that one, and it did a similar thing where it's making this humming noise on me after having it for a few years, and now this one's doing the same thing. I don't want to buy a new one. Honestly, I might just go unplug it from my next video. I'll go on my recording and see if it's making the sound, but if it's like really loud or not. But sorry about that. But yeah, I think that's really all I have to say. There were a lot of good moments in this, and I'm sure there's some that I missed and didn't really speak about, but I enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. The link is in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen. You can get a couple episodes ahead of time. Well, actually, no, sorry. This is, I don't know what I'm thinking. This is a Patreon show, which means that if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you can watch all the way to the end of Symphogear, all the way up to Season 5 ending and everything. So check that out if you're interested in getting more content from me, and then you'll also be able to see the first, 3 seasons or multiple shows or whatever replaces this, because as soon as I finish this, I start releasing the show from the beginning on YouTube, and then I start a new show, which means that by the time it gets around to, this point, there's going to be several shows out and stuff, so. But either way, yeah, check it out if you're interested. Links in the description, more info down there, and it supports what I do. Very much appreciate it, and I will see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.